Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May 2017 ServeNow EDU. I'm your host, Trent Carlisle, co-founder of Logical, the company behind ServeNow, ServeManager, and PI Now. ServeNow EDUs are held on the last Thursday of every month, as you probably know by now. If you're ever unable to attend, they're usually posted on ServeNow the next day or early the following week. And you can also subscribe to ServeNow EDU on YouTube and iTunes. Next month's webinar will be on June 29th, and joining us that day will be Tori Schaefer of Tori's Legal Services out of Maryland and the DC area, and she'll be talking to us about creating bulletproof affidavits. Today, I'm joined by my esteemed colleague here at Logical, Kelsey Johnson. In addition to being an avid beer drinker, ping pong player, cat lover, and all-around cool person, Kelsey is the local search optimization specialist and marketing manager for ServeNow, PI Now, and she also manages a number of other products here at Logical. She consults process servers and private investigators on marketing their business online, manages our in-house social media accounts, and essentially oversees our marketing team here. If you have a local optimization product with us, chances are you've spoken with Kelsey. And if you have one of our mobile-friendly websites for PIs and process servers, chances are she built that for you. As part of the local optimization product we offer, Kelsey has created and optimized many a Facebook page for our customers. She's going to talk about why having a Facebook page is important, how you can utilize Facebook to engage with your customers and potential customers, and finally walk us through creating one. So Kelsey, not that you were given a choice, but thanks for joining us today.
Hi Trent, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. The reason that I really wanted to do this webinar today was I have lots of local optimization clients who are intimidated by the concept of having your own Facebook page, intimidated by the idea of setting it up, what they should be posting, similar kinds of things. And I just wanted to show that it's incredibly easy to set up. And as long as you know how to manage it in the right way, it can be a really effective tool and a very cheap tool, if not free to use. So I am going to go through some of the reasons that you should have one, some of the reasons that you should be visible on Facebook and in social media in general, some of the things to do and not to do. And I'm actually going to walk us through setting up a Facebook page on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and get started.
I'll just say real quick that if there are questions along the way, feel free to drop those in the questions section of the GoToWebinar widget. Kelsey, I'm assuming you're okay with questions along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to hear questions. I think that this should be interactive in as much as it can be. I'm hoping just to help explain what people are confused about. I think I have some good ideas about that, but I'd love to hear questions as well. Anything along the way, Trent, go ahead and interrupt me.
Cool. All right, take it away.
Great. So first of all, steps to set up your Facebook business page. It is very, very easy to get started with this. It is most of the time that you'll be spending on Facebook is going to be throughout the process of having a Facebook business page. I would be surprised if at least half of you didn't have a personal Facebook account already. That is also incredibly easy to set up. So, you know, it's just a little bit of time to get things started, and then you can get going with your social media marketing and visibility online to start communicating with and gaining more clients potentially and customers. So first of all, we've got increased visibility. There are 1.23 billion users on Facebook. These users are spending an average of 50 minutes on Facebook each day. So Your clients are likely on Facebook already. They're probably on there for their businesses themselves. They are likely on there communicating with their family and friends, hanging out, finding new businesses. People are there, and so we want to make sure that we are there already. You know, being on Facebook can also validate your business. So if you have everything filled out, you've got everything, you've got an image up there, a professional image, you've got a logo up there, all of your information is there, you have reviews. These are all things that people see, and they sort of think of you as a more established business, a more professional business, and they're going to, even, you know, even if they don't think of it directly, they're going to hold you in higher regard and maybe think of you the next time that they want to hire a process server, a private investigator, or whatever business service that you're providing. You can get more reviews on Facebook, so people can leave reviews easily. And now this is something that I push for with my local optimization clients. Reviews are now incredibly important online. You probably are thinking of your own, you know, when you go to a restaurant or when you hire a lawyer or anything like that, you're looking for reviews online as well. So are your clients. You can get reviews in a couple of places. Facebook tends to be a really good one because people are already on there and they're already comfortable with the platform. So, and then that brings us to the next spot, show up in search results. You will, if people are searching for your business, if people searched for ServeNow, ServeNow's website is going to show up first, obviously, but there are 10 results on that first Google search page, and Facebook's one of them. I just Googled ServeNow earlier today. Facebook ranked, I think, 8th, and those reviews that we have, they showed up underneath that search result. So this is something that's not just going to be on Facebook itself, but it's going to be showing up when people are just Googling you in general and trying to decide whether to hire your company if they are deciding to do that research. Facebook is another place where people can find your business information. That means your hours that you're open. That means your phone number if they want to immediately call you to hire you. That means your services, the things that you could potentially offer them. And those are going to be right there on that front page in addition to your, reviews and any other small pieces of information that you might have added on there. So that's, having those essential things there can be incredibly beneficial for your business in the long run. Google likes Facebook. When you have that listing there, it's considered a link, as long as you keep put your website on your Facebook page. It's considered a link in the eyes of Google back to your website. It's just one very small piece of the overall network of SEO and things that can make you rank. But Google likes it when you have a Facebook page and when you link it back to your website and when you have all of your information accurate on there. And so that's going to be one of those small pieces of things that you can do in order to rank better in your area. Also, it's free. Setting up a Facebook account, setting up a Facebook business page, these things are all free and very, very simple to do. And I'm going to show you that today, but free is my favorite price for things like this, so that's pretty exciting. To get started, you are going to want a square logo in a JPEG or PNG form. That means if you only have one, on your business cards, see if you can get one digitally made. Lots of times you can hire a graphic designer to do that. Most of you will probably already have one. The square logo is kind of essential though. And we want it to be not too wordy, not too many small words, and I'll explain why later. You want a large business image to use as a background. Now that could be a picture of a road if you're a process server, or one of the more generic private investigation images, maybe somebody looking through a camera. It could also be a background of your cityscape or something that's a bigger, logo that's, you know, gonna just sort of remind people who you are. You can obviously look through your competitors' Facebook pages and see what they're using for that, but you're gonna want that bigger image in the background. Obviously, your business details, name, phone, address, hours, services. The only thing that I like to mention with this, as with all of my local optimization services that I do for my clients and, you know, anything that has to do with local optimization, make sure that phone number is the same as your Google listing, it's the same as your Yelp listing. Anywhere that you're online, you want to make sure that phone number is the same. So don't use a toll-free when you're using a local phone number on your website or something like that. Same thing with the address, hours, services. Make sure they're consistent. The services, it's not quite as important, but and then you will need a personal Facebook account. They're quite simple to set up. It's probably better if you set it up with your personal account, but if you don't want to associate necessarily, if you're trying to keep a low profile in the business that you do, you know, you can just create a separate personal Facebook account for your, to use specifically for your business. Make sure you set that up with plenty of information though, so that Facebook doesn't think of it as just a throwaway account. Facebook can see you as sort of a legitimate person online. And so now I'm going to take us over to my Facebook account that I've set up for this. This is the page that showed up. Trent Carlisle, are you seeing my Facebook screen right now?
I am, yes.
Okay, great. So this is my Facebook account that I set up right now. This is just what you're gonna see once you put in your name and your, I think it's your name, email address, age, and gender. And then that's all it takes to get this set up. I put my picture in here as well. So obviously this is something that's really easy to do. What I'm gonna do is go up into the upper right-hand corner, and I might actually blow my page up a little bit here so that we can see it better. I'm gonna go to this down arrow in this upper right-hand corner and go to Create Page here. So you're gonna get to this page right here. I'm gonna go company, organization, or institution. Might seem like what we're doing, but what we actually are is a local business or place. And that includes service area businesses. It's not just for what we call brick and mortar, so like a restaurant or a store. For process servers and private investigators, it's still a local business or place. Really quickly, I'm gonna type in my business information here. So we've got Acme Process Serving Company. This is my pretend process serving company. Category, now process service isn't in Facebook yet. So what I'm gonna set this up as is legal. You can do legal or legal service maybe. I might do legal service. That's just gonna let people know the general idea of what your company is doing. We'll call this 123 Main Street. And then as I'm in Denver, Colorado, I'll go ahead and keep that. And then click Get Started. And that's, ooh, oh, sorry, my phone number down here. All right, get started. Now that's basically all you need to do to set up your Facebook page initially, which is pretty exciting. I'll show you what it looks like in general. So we've got the cover, which doesn't exist yet. We've got our logo picture over here. We have our name right here, a bunch of different sections here: services, reviews, shop, photos, videos, posts, events, about, likes. Facebook's gone kind of wild with all of these options, but don't be intimidated. You can just sort of go through those as you need them. They definitely aren't all necessary. It gives you a couple of prompts of what to do when you first get started. And then I'll go into this a little bit in a minute, but this top settings section is where you're gonna do various things like set up notifications and users. So the first thing that you want to do with your page, which might seem simple, but you want to like it. I like Acme Process Serving Company. I enjoy the owner of this company, and I think that she does a great job, so I'm going to like her page. Then I'm going to add a picture. Facebook is very, very visible medium, so I'm going to want to make sure I have everything looking very good. So I'll click in this bottom right hand corner, and then I'm gonna upload a photo from my hard drive. So here we go. It's going to ask me how I want to reposition it. I've already made this one square, so I am going to just make it the smallest that it can and reposition it into the middle. And there is my logo. You'll notice that I used the letters very largely at the bottom here once this refreshes in a second. That is because if you were going to do Acme Process Serving Company at the bottom here, it's going to show up really small, and it's not going to really pack that punch that you want from your logo and your impression and your brand in general. Plus, here's my company name right here anyway, so it's not like I need to put my company name on there a bunch of different times. So just try to use a picture here, like even if my example was like the Nike swoop, you could even just put like a swoop there and you wouldn't even have to put Nike underneath. It's just more of your logo in general and your brand rather than having a bunch of verbiage there about your company and the name of it and LLCs and everything like that. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is add a cover photo. Now this is the big one that we talked about earlier, which could be a cityscape or whatever you really want. Again, look at what your other competition is doing and see if you want to do something similar to them. Sorry, I'm gonna go back through this because I was talking through it. I'm gonna click on add a cover, go down to upload photo, choose from photos. That is gonna just be the pictures that I've already uploaded to this page, which is only this Acme one so far. So I'm gonna need a new photo for my desktop. Here we go, my background that I set up from beforehand. This is the picture from my website, Acme Process Serving Company, and I can drag this up and down a little bit. I'm gonna maybe drag it right here and then save. So there we go, that's my background. There's my logo. I think it's already looking pretty good over here. And I think that when somebody came to my page, they might really enjoy seeing this. And so that's the main point. That's the essence. That is the really the way that it looks when you start. Obviously, we want our information to be up here. We want it to be accurate and consistent. So what I'm going to do is you can go down to this third page tip if you like, or you can go over here to About. And it's got my phone number, it's got my name, it's got my address. I'm gonna wanna double check that all of those things are accurate and consistent. And then there's more information you can put down here. You can put an email address in there if you like. I'm not always sure whether I wanna share my email address with everybody on Facebook, which is basically everybody. So I might leave that off, but I might put my website down here and say, this is our example site from our one-page sites, processserverwebsites.com. going to save that as that's the Acme Process Serving Company example. You can add more information here, but what you want is your business details here. Oh, no, never mind. That's just, well, you could do this as well. If you want to put a price range in there as well, if you've got an actual location, you want to put in a valet, street, parking lot, you can add that details there. For now, I'm not going to do that, but you can definitely go through and, you know, make sure all of that information is filled out. I'm going to go back to this home and see if I can find the description section. A lot of what you do on Facebook is going to be, you know, navigating from page to page and making sure that you are, you know, adding what you want to your page and making sure that if there is a section called services or if there is a section called description and you want to add more information to it, you definitely can. So that's definitely going to be useful for you as well. Let's see if I can get this to work for a second. Let's see if we can get this to work. Sorry, we're having a little bit of a technological issue here. So what you're going to want to add for your description while we're waiting for this to refresh and everything to work right now, you'll want to add sort of keywords to your description. So for process servers, I'm going to want to add a process server page. I'm going to want to add or a process serving keywords, process server, service of process, maybe subpoenas, or what people search a lot, and summons and complaints, and everything like that. All right, I'm sorry about this. Looks like we are having some technical issues on my side. See if I can refresh this for a second and get it going again. There we go. All right, so I'm back on the home page here. I'm going to add a short description. Going to pop up right here. 1 to 2 sentences to describe Acme Process Serving Company. Let's see, Acme Process Serving Company. So I'm mentioning my clients here, just in case potential clients come to this page, they can take a look at this and see, oh, that's me. I want to hire this person because they are used to dealing with my company. All right, so there we go. That's my page description there. And now the last thing, well, second to last thing that I want to do here is, this is what's called a call to action. It's a big button that says, call my company now. So if your clients hit this page immediately, they're going to see this button sort of very big and prominently, and if all they wanted was a process server, a private investigator, and to get you on the phone, they can just click this button and it will call you. This is also great for mobile friendliness, basically. So if somebody's seeing on their phone this page, which you know a lot of people access this page, Facebook on their phones, they can just click that button to call you immediately. So we want to make sure it's set up properly. All right, now they can call me immediately when they need to. The last thing that I'll recommend, and this is something that not everybody knows about, you can add separate services to your Facebook page. And this can be really good for keywords, which is something that online marketers say a lot, but basically something that's better for Google's visibility. I'm not sure how many people are actually looking at services, how many of your clients might be, but they potentially could be, and they're gonna wanna read through maybe prices and the things that you're doing. So I went to services, I'm adding a service. We'll call this process service. I'm not gonna add a price right now, but you definitely could. You're gonna wanna mention what you do a little bit more. We serve subpoenas. All right, there we go. Maybe I'll say that we offer rush and same day services as well. And then I always like to add a photo. I think that it just adds something. It drags the eye to the page and that particular part of the page. And you know, the longer that you can keep something on your page, the better, really. So we'll add our little process serving signature photo. And you can add anything you want here, and there we go. And you could just continue to add services if you do background checks, if you do, you know, notary services or anything like that. I would just mention all of those here, skip tracing or anything like that. And so, if it will let me go back to the home page, we sort of have our page set up here. So we've got our background, we've got our logo, we've got our name, we've got our information that's all accurate over here. People can send us messages, and there's some insights here if you want to look through that. Services, this, you know, if somebody wanted to leave a review, they can do that right here. Here's our post. So, you know, you can look down at this. There's also lots of little helpful hints that Facebook gives you itself. You can create a new event, and you can add a new post to your page as well if you'd like. So if you're going to start off saying, if you want to start off saying something like, we just got a Facebook page, you can say Acme process serving there we go. You can add smiley faces and emojis to that. I don't recommend that for businesses because it looks semi-unprofessional, but you can definitely write on there, and it's very engaging for people to write there, and then post that, and here we are. There's your newest post. You can leave images and everything like that. So, you know, here we are. That's took maybe, I would say 10, 15 minutes at the most for me to set that up at its very essence and in the way that we really need it to look, you know, and that's where we start. This is what we need to start. It's not intimidating. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to enter any crazy information that's not already going to be online. It's a pretty simple process, and it's very easy, and it's very, very useful for your business. And so I'm going to go back over to my slides here to talk a little bit more about what you can do next.
Before you move on, Kelsey, there is a question about that setup. The question was in regards to the username for the page. What is the purpose of the username?
That's a good question. Thank you for asking that, Trent. The username is, the purpose of it is basically branding. So if you think of, it's going to be like just one name that you use to associate with your company. And so I would probably call this at Acme Process Serving or Acme Process Serving Company. and it will show up here as well, Acme Process Serving Company, and instead of all these numbers and all these dashes, it will be easier to navigate to this page. Now what I've noticed is right at the beginning, we can try to set this up now, but what I've noticed is when you first set up a page, Facebook doesn't let you create a username quite yet. Makes you wait a couple of weeks generally, and we can definitely try, so I'll click this. So what I would want to call this is Acme Process Serving. So it's got the little check mark, which means nobody else has used it. That also means that somebody could go to facebook.com/Acme Process Serving, no dashes, and that will navigate to your page. But my guess is going to be when we click this, it's not going to let me yet, just because it wants your page to be live for a couple of weeks before it lets you sort of validate it in that way. You know, it might do something like ask you to answer a phone call, which should be easy enough for you to do as well. But that's definitely something that you want to do eventually, is set up that username. It's going to add a lot more legitimacy and professionalism to your Facebook page in general. So,
does that make it easier for your followers or people on Facebook to tag you in posts as well?
Yeah, indeed. So if somebody else is talking about you on their post or on their page, all they have to do is click the little @ button and then start typing that in, and that's going to link to your page itself. So it's a really useful way to have more visibility on the platform itself.
Great.
Yeah, and that was a good question. Thank you. Okay, so now you have your Facebook page. I would say if you were me, pet a cat, grab a beer, take a break, maybe come back to it a week later. You've done a good job so far. But then when you come back to your Facebook page, if you have connected it to your personal account, ask your friends to like your page. There's no reason why they would be offended by the fact that you were asking them. They are likely to want to help promote your business. And it's a really good way to sort of reach a bunch of people at first and get Facebook's algorithm to start noticing you as legitimate when a bunch of people already like your page. Not to mention, if you have potential clients going to your page and you know that's just you that likes it so far, they're going to think of it as a little bit less professional than if you already have, let's say, 25 or 50 likes from your friends that you already have established. You know, I just set mine up with an account that's new, so that I don't really have any friends yet. But if you have set it up with your personal account, that can be a really useful tool to get some new likes. I would say check your Facebook page weekly if that seems like overkill because you're not always on Facebook. Maybe check it once a month, set a calendar notification to go on there, make sure that if anybody's left reviews, if anybody has you know, sent you a message or anything like that, you can see that. I will say really quickly, going back to this page, the way that you can set up those notifications is by going to your settings here, and then you can change your notifications, how many emails you're getting here, and you can add other people onto your Facebook business page here. So if you go into notifications, you can, you know, if you don't want to get a notification every time your page receives a message, click off. These are pretty overkill, I would say. So you can turn off some of these if you have a maybe, well, I don't know. These might be okay. They're just going to show up in this little notification section up here. So you'll see I already just got one. But if you wanted to turn some of these off, you definitely could, and you can turn off notifications and text messages and stuff like that. This text message, I assume that they're going to use the number that I put on here. That's likely going to be a landline or a toll-free number, so they won't be able to send you a message anyway, but feel free to turn that off if you would like to. Page roles, this comes up a lot with my clients who already have Facebook pages. If you have somebody managing your local optimization or some other part of your business, you might want to add them. So you go to this page roles section and you can say, add me, and then my personal account is right on there. And so you can just basically add new page roles, add new administrative people or people who can edit your page, which is helpful if you have somebody else helping you out with this. Encourage your clients to leave reviews. You can do that on your website. You can do that in email follow-ups after you've had provided them a service. You can do that with Google, but also Facebook can be really helpful. And you really want those reviews. They're going to be super useful for you. Share your local business and share industry news. Now, this is really important. This is talking about what to post once you already have a Facebook page. And what you want to post is relevant and engaging content. You don't just want to post all of your own, just talking about yourself as a business. Obviously, part of that is really important. You want to establish what you've been doing. But if you talk about, relevant news, means laws that might have changed in process serving or private investigations, best practices that you've heard of, articles that other people have written, become this sort of brand that other people trust to talk about the industry as a whole, not just about yourself as a business. It makes your page more engaging and more interesting to go to. And it also just makes you look a little bit more legitimate as a company in general. I will say ServeNow and PI Now both have Facebook pages where we're constantly updating the newest information in the industry. You can go there and share our articles on your page if you'd like to. I know some of my clients do that as well. So that can be a good way to get in there and not have to do too much research. But chances are you've been hearing about the stuff that's going on in your specific industry in general. So, you can share articles that you've read about that, and that can be a really good way to engage with your clients and potential clients and network with other people in your industry. And then you also, if you have a blog where you're updating blog posts, you definitely want to share that information, or white papers, if you're creating videos. If you're doing a webinar, like I would say on our page, we're probably going to post this webinar. That's the kind of personal business information that you'll want to update on your page so that, people who like your business can keep up to date with what you've been doing. A lot of times, our small businesses will, help out, sponsor a local food drive or some sort of run for something. You can post about that stuff as well. And I highly recommend that you post pictures if you can. A lot of times in the private investigations and process serving industries, you don't necessarily want to post pictures of yourself. Some of my clients do, some of them don't, but you can definitely post pictures about things that are going on in your local area. And you want to make sure that if you move, you change that address. If you change your hours, you change that. If you guys are going to be taking the weekend off because of Memorial Day, you want to make sure that you post something about that on your Facebook page, just to let people know that that's a good place for them to go to as a resource for your business, and it's not going to be out of date or stale or anything like that. So basically, come back to this slide. We'll have a review in our webinar page for this webinar, and just go through these things. If there's anything that you can update, that's the type of thing that you're going to want to post weekly or monthly or whenever you can get back to your Facebook page. What not to do: do not upload or write anything inappropriate. The internet is forever. Even if you delete something, it still exists online and it's still accessible. And your clients can still potentially find it, or it could be a bigger deal than it needs to be. Just be really, really careful about the things that you're writing, especially in the legal industry. There can be things that are, not legal for you to say specifically, or just inappropriate that just make you look unprofessional. And so just don't ever upload or write anything like that, and you'll be good to go. Similarly with reviews, don't respond to them in a negative way. A lot of times, people can be trying to engage you in a negative way for reviews. Just maintain the higher ground on that. Your other clients are going to be seeing that, and just say, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience. Just respond in the way that you would normally respond to negative reviews in general. Don't set it and forget it. Try to go back in there and update things. It's really going to make you look a lot more professional in general as, a small business. It's not a humongous deal if you do that. It's better to have that in the Facebook page in general than, if you don't have time, if you're really busy, that's fine. But try to update it as much as possible. And don't lose your password. This Facebook is not forgiving for people who have, created Facebook pages and then forgotten their password to sign into them or something like that. It's very, very difficult to get back into that page. I've tried many, many times. So, just write that down, tattoo it on your ankle, have your kid memorize it or something like that. Just make sure you're keeping that password and you remember it if you update it. What about Facebook advertising? Now, the second that you get on Facebook, they are going to start wanting you to put ads up. That is the way that Facebook makes money, and they want to make money inevitably in the long run. So they're going to be suggesting that you promote posts, that you create your own ads. They're going to be showing you an example of that. And this is something you can do. Now, it's not something that's big in the process serving private investigations world, advertising on Facebook, but it can be done. Some of the benefits are there's a targeted audience because there's so much information that they gather about the people who are using Facebook. They can, you can target people in a specific location if that's what you're going for. You can target certain demographics of people. Maybe if your clients tend to be a little bit older, you can target a little bit older of an age. Maybe 16-year-olds aren't hiring process servers. But you never know, but that could be something that's useful for you. You can target certain people in certain jobs with certain interests, and so that's going to be really useful. And then there could be very good in-depth insights about how many people are clicking on certain things, how many people are calling your website from Facebook, how many people are clicking through to your website, how many actions are happening. Because it's so in-depth and there's such a targeted system for their advertising, it is very, very complicated to do. Even for myself and for Trent, where we've done some Facebook advertising for our company, it's, it can be really, really granular. You have to go into every tiny little corner and figure out what direction you're going. Or they have a pay-per-click system, so you could potentially be sort of wasting money advertising to the wrong people. So you kind of have to put the time into it, do plenty of research for it, which is my next bullet point, and make sure that you are targeting the right people. You also are going to want to make sure that you have the right content that you're targeting. This is going to be similar to the content that you're putting on your Facebook page in general, but attractive offers maybe you'll want to use advertising for, or if you have a video series that you're doing, or if you want to promote something specific. Those are the kinds of things that are more useful for Facebook advertising in general. And then you can hire a consultant if you like. That's always a nice option, to have somebody who's sort of on your side in a similar way that we do local optimization. You can hire somebody to help you out with Facebook advertising. The only thing that I say to pay attention for with that, make sure that you notice how much you're spending and how much you're getting in terms of clients, and you'll want to do that maybe over a 6-month or year-long process, and then pay attention to whether you're getting a return on your investment, whether the money that you're spending is worth it in the long run. But it's definitely something interesting to dabble in. I know there are generally a lot of questions about Facebook advertising. Trent, does anybody have any questions at this point?
No, not in regards to advertising. There was a question related to the email notifications. Matt was asking if you could set up multiple email addresses to receive notifications.
Yeah, so that will be the users section that we did before. I'm going to go back over to this Facebook page here. And so that will be when you assign new page roles, those will be the different people who can receive the notifications that we have set up. So that's the way that you can sort of create this as a background within this dashboard, assign page roles, and then each person, they'll have to have their own Facebook account set up, but each person can then go into their own notifications and set up to receive certain email notifications, text notifications, and things like that. So there will be one person that adds all of the page roles, and then each specific person can go in and be notified in the way that they want, or turn off all of those notifications that they'd like to as well. Okay, so that is the information that we have on setting up a Facebook page to start off with. It is so simple. It can look really overwhelming, and I completely understand there's so many options that seem to be there, but that was the essence of what, as a business, especially as a small business, but a small, medium, or large size business is going to start there with setting up their Facebook page, and start there with maintaining it, and start getting that visibility that they really want to with Facebook. Start getting all those benefits that they hear about their friends or clients or competition getting, and it's, I would say, to look at this just one more time, my main Facebook page, go back over here to page. This is not this is just a Facebook page that I created as an example for this webinar, but it already kind of looks like a really professional place that's set up. It's got information here. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody accidentally hit this page and then thought, hey, this is kind of a cool process serving company. I need a process server really quickly. I'm gonna call them right now, and then they are on their phone and they give me a call immediately. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be your competition in Denver. I'll delete this page immediately once we're done. But it's easier than you think to really get it set up, right from the beginning. So that's what I really wanted to show you. If you want to contact ServeNow, here's the number to do so. You can email us at info@servenow.com or info@logical.com. Our products that we do supply is local optimization, which I'm the specialist for. I'll get you set up on Google, Yelp, lots of different places to get you ranking, and we've got some information about that if you're interested in that. We do mobile-friendly websites that are great for one location businesses, and so we can set that up for you. They're fast, they look good, we can cater them to what you're looking for, add your logos and stuff in there. I've got plenty of information about reviews and links and some other things that you can do. We've been doing specialist consultations. If you're interested in that, you can also email us at info@servenow.com. And then, of course, we've got our ServeNow or PI Now listings, which are always really good marketing as well. What's not on this list is Google AdWords or Facebook AdWords consultations or Facebook AdWords consulting. We could potentially get you in touch with somebody, but we don't actually do any specific Facebook ads for our clients, just so that you know. But there are plenty of people out there that do that, and so you can search for them or send us an email and let us know if you are interested in that. So. That was me. I'm Kelsey Johnson again. I'm the local search, local search optimization specialist. Many different names we go by. I am a big nerd over here. I love getting people ranking on Google. I'm also Trent Carlisle's esteemed colleague, and so I'm going to pass it back over to him. Trent?
You are my esteemed colleague, Kelsey Johnson. Thank you so much. I think we got to all the questions. We'll stay on for another minute or so as I'm kind of wrapping up things here. If I see any questions pop up, I will definitely ask those of Kelsey. Kelsey, thank you. Thank you to all the attendees for joining us today. As Kelsey said, if you have any questions, call us or shoot us an email. She gave a little spiel on the mobile-friendly websites as well as local optimization. If you're interested in ranking in your area as a process server or investigator, get in touch with us. The notes and the video recording from today's webinar will be available on ServeNow. If not, tomorrow after the holiday weekend, you'll also be receiving an email when this recording is available. Remember to subscribe to ServeNow EDU on YouTube or iTunes, and we will see you next month for Tori Schaefer's webinar on creating bulletproof affidavits. I hope everyone has a great holiday weekend, a great and safe holiday weekend, and we'll see you again here next month. Thank you all. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you.